In this video, I will show you how to solve a system of equations using Gaussian elimination, but on your calculator. This first example here, we have a system with three equations. 2x plus 7y plus z equals 14, x plus 3y minus z equals 2, x plus 7y plus 12z equals 45. The first thing we need to do is we need to write these equations as an augmented matrix. Our augmented matrix will have 3 rows since we have 3 equations. The entries in the first row will be 2, 7, 1, 14. The entries in the second row would be 1, 3, -1, 2. And the entries in the third row will be 1, 7, 12, 45. Okay, the order is X, Y, Z, and then whatever number you have on the other side of your equal sign. What we need to do now is we need to convert this matrix into row echelon form, and we're going to do this on our calculator. On our calculator, the first thing we need to do is we need to enter our matrix first. The way you do this is you're going to go to second, you're going to push second, and then the x power -1 button, you see right above it, it says matrix. I'm going to hit that. And then I'm going to go over to where it says edit. Okay, you first need to enter the matrix into your calculator, so I'm going to go over to edit. You always select the very first matrix, matrix A, so I'm going to choose 1. And then the first thing it's going to ask me when I hit 1, it's going to ask me for the size of my matrix. Okay, my matrix has 3 rows and 4 columns, so this is a 3 by 4 matrix. So you push 3, enter, 4, enter. And then now I'm going to put my entries into the calculator. So the first row is 2, enter, 7, 1, 14. The second row is 1, 3, -1, 2. And the third row is 1, 7, 12, 45. After I've entered all the entries in my matrix, I'm going to next do second and the mode button, which says quit. That will get you out of that screen. You're now going to push second and then again matrix. You're going to scroll over to where it says math. And then you're going to scroll down to where it says REF. Okay, REF is A. REF stands for row echelon form. I'm going to hit enter. And then now you need to tell the calculator which matrix you want to do the row echelon form in. So we're going to push second and then again matrix. We're going to select the first one, matrix A. That's our matrix that we entered at the beginning. So I'm going to select 1. I'm going to close my parenthesis and then hit enter. There is your matrix in row echelon form. Now, you will notice that on your calculator, it gives you entries that have decimals in them. Instead of decimals, it's preferable if we have our matrix with fraction entries instead of decimal entries. So to get our matrix with fraction entries, all we have to do is simply push the math button, and then we're going to select frac. That's going to convert the decimals into fraction. And then I'm going to hit enter, and that will now give me my matrix with all entries in fraction form. This is my matrix in row echelon form. So in row echelon form, my matrix is, the first row is 1, 7/2, 1/2. And then if I scroll over on my calculator, I have 7. Scroll back. The second row is 0, 1, 23/7. 76 over 7. And then the last row is 0, 0, 1, 3. All right, so that's all we need our calculator for. Now, I'm going to use my matrix that is in row echelon form and solve for my equation. I'm going to start with the last row, which is the third row. So the entries in the third row are 0, 0, 1, and 3. So remember, the order is x, y, z, and then the value that is equal to. So from this last row, my equation would be 1z equals 3, or I can simply say z equals 3. So I know what the value of z is. Now, using the second row, the entries are 1, 23 over 7, 76 over 7. If I write that as an equation, well, there is a 0, so that's 0x. And then here I have 1y, so it's going to be y plus 23 over 7z equals 76 over 7. Now up here, I already figured out the value of z. I'm going to take that value of z and plug it in down here for z. So y plus 23 over 7 times 3, that equals 76 over 7. 23 over 7 times 3 will give me 69 over 7. That equals 76 over 7. And now to get y by itself, I'm going to subtract 69 over 7 on both sides. So y equals 76 over 7 minus 69 over 7, which is going to give you 7 over 7, which equals 1. So I now have the value of z and the value for y. What I have left to find now is a value for x. So to get the value for x, I'm going to use the first row of my matrix. Looking at the entries from the first row, I have 1, 7 halves, 1 half, and 7. So writing that as an equation, the 1 would be 1x, or simply x, plus 7 over 2y plus 1 over 2z equals 7. I know the values of y and z. Y equals 1 and z equals 3. I'm going to take those values and plug it into this equation. So x plus 7 over 2 times 1 plus 1 over 2 times 3 equals 7, or x plus 7 halves plus 3 halves equals 7. X plus, so 7 halves and 3 halves, that will give you 10 halves. 10 halves is the same thing as 5. 10 divided by 2 would be 5. So x plus 5 equals 7. I subtract 5 on both sides, so x equals 7 minus 5, which equals 2. So that gives me the value of x. So I have figured out the value of x, the value of y, and the value of z. I'm now done. So I have now solved my system of equations. The way you're going to write down your answer is an ordered triple. So an ordered triple will be x, y, z. So first my x value is 2, then my y value is 1, and my z value is 3. This is how you can use your calculator to do Gaussian elimination.